Yo, 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 what's up, all you burners, stoners, and potheads, and especially all you gardeners out there? This is Mr. Weedman and Big Earl with the Grow Hour. Big Earl, my brother, how the hell are you?
What's up? I'm doing good, man. How are you?
I'm doing great. You know why?
Why?
It's Burpin the Bag time with our friend Stony. What's up, Stony? How you doing, brother? Glad to have you back.
What's going on, guys? How you been?
We're good, man. This is the first Grow Hour of 2025, and it's a pleasure to have you back on the show. Sorry for the long break, everybody out there, but we got Stony over here, fellow gamer, fellow breeder, fellow grower, fellow stoner, and I love it. And everybody's been busy getting their shit together, getting 2025 straight. Earl's got genetics. Earl's got some big plans. Stoney's got some big plans. And the Weedman 420 Chronicles and the Grower got some shit going on. So we're back, and we're having some fun today. And we're going to get Stony baloney while we talk. Earl, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, we got a fun bag of fun episode of Burpin the Bag. If you guys remember last time Stony was on, talked about a bunch of autos, and we're gonna do that again today, of course. But also maybe some selling seeds lessons, which I know we talked about before again, and some good info on how not to get ripped off starting selling your seeds a little bit, and maybe a little story time there.
Yeah, dude. Those young and naive up and coming breeders talking to people with bright ideas, want to get their foot in the door and start to make it about themselves.
Yep.
They'll learn
Maybe
one day. The plants.
A little warning.
Oh yeah, it's smart to stay solo. Unless you're like married or someone that you trust, then definitely don't fucking just trust your buddy on the internet that you're talking to.
And we'll get into that in a little bit. But before we get started, though, let's talk about what we're smoking on. And I'm smoking on, of course, grown by my friend here, Big Earl. Strawberry Shortcake. Big Earl, tell us about it.
Yeah, love that one, man.
Me too.
Only grew it the one time, maybe like 3 or 4 plants of it. Everybody's in love with it. Maybe I grew it twice now. Everybody's in love with it. It's super nice. It was in the tissue culture lab when I first got there at the beginning of last year. So I don't know a ton about like where it came from for us or anything like that, but I do know very creamy strawberry terps, really nice flower structure, really nice yields on it, really easy to grow. Just a really great plant all around. And people love it.
I love it. Mrs. Weedman loves it. Stony, since you're the guest of honor, what are you smoking on, my friend?
I got some live hash rosin from my buddy PNW Grow. I think it's like fermented punch, a cross of, I think fermented punch and something else. I can't remember the cross. But yeah, it's nuts. It smells like blueberries and like, I don't know. It's a live one. It smells really good. Like every time I open the jar, you have to like smell it. It's just very complex. But blue is what I'm getting out of it a lot.
The color blue? Or the smell of blue?
Smell of blue. When you smell it, like, like when you smell purple or anything, you're like, when you smell the weed, you're like, this is purple. This is, I know, just based on how it smells, this is what it is.
I love it.
I love it. Piercing, like, minty blue smell. It's really nice.
What are you smoking out of a rig? Or are you smoking out of an electronic rig or just a regular rig with a torch?
I've been doing the low temp, like the blue setting, the low setting on my Puffco.
Yeah, that's what I do.
And I do like 3 or 4 hits out of it before I clean it. It actually goes a long way. Take one, get it down, come back a little later, do it again. And realize it actually, it's not the one and done. Because I used to do it on the peak setting, and it would all be all burnt and shit. And I started trying to rotate, and I was like, I actually like this. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, and those Puffcos, because I got a Puffco. I don't got the pipe one. I got the Peak Pro, the fucking. Yeah. I keep that at around 400. I like it low. I like more of the flavor. I don't like a hot dab. It just fucking burns my throat, and I get two on a hot dab. I get two fucking just on the couch, tongue hanging out, fucking drooling.
With 15, 20 minutes of trying to get back to not panicking.
Yeah,
100%. When you have good flavors, you smoke different. Like when you have real good rosin, you smoke different. When you have real good weed, you smoke joints and clean bowls and bongs. And when you have shitty weed, you smoke. I'm not saying everybody smoke. I smoke a lot of blunts, But like, you know, you don't start appreciating
Yeah,
joints and clean glass until you get really good weed, and you're like, wow, I can taste all of this. And the
It
same with the
was
dab rigs.
Yeah, it was funny. Mrs. Weedman has trouble tasting right now. She's on a medication, um, so she hasn't really been able to taste anything lately, probably in the last like 2 years. So I took out the percolator. We haven't smoked out of the percolator in a hot minute, and all of a sudden I saw a smile on her face. I was like, "What's up?" She's like, "I taste weed again." I was like, "Hell
oh my
yeah!"
god,
the face
that's so
of,
cool.
of excitement and happiness, and I was like, "Hell yeah, percolator! It's time for the percolator."
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. Earl, what are you smoking
Oh
on, my
yeah.
friend?
I brought up the Chem Cheeze Haze. I haven't grown it
Oh,
for a while. It's older, but it's been in those Grove bags, and it is just mint still. Mint.
I still have a couple nugs of the Chem Cheese Haze. I think I have the Chem Cheese Haze Uncle Lou Packy headband cross still. I got 2 nice nugs of that left. I was smoking out with some friends the other day. They loved it. I still got a nice big fat nug of that Chem Cheese Haze. That's still fucking smoking really good. That strain is pretty. Everybody who got a chance to try that Chem Cheese Haze when I was rolling joints at different events, dude, loved it. Loved it. And some of those bud
Flavor.
structures too were fucking insane.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
what
dude,
was that?
it's a fun one.
What was that cross again?
It was Chem D. The mom was Chem D crossed to Chem's sister,
Oh shit.
and then all of that was crossed to the chilled wine haze.
Yeah, so good.
And Chem
All
Sis
three.
is part of Gorilla Glue 4, right?
What was that?
I mean, Chem Sis part of Gorilla Glue 4.
You know, I'm not 100% sure on that,
I think it's like Chem
but I
Sis
know,
Sour Blood, I'm pretty sure.
yeah, yeah, I can see that. I just know, Magic Beans bred the mom. Nick from Magic Beans bred the mom.
Yeah. Yeah, one I was thinking of the other day, I haven't seen it forever, was Buddha's sister. Remember that one?
The
No,
honey.
that that
No, that's
that
before that. It was old, man. I remember it was Buddha's Sisters and High Times from like 2008, 2007.
that sounds delicious.
Yeah.
That's right. If you Google it, you'll find it. It's an old strain.
Yeah. Earl, I had an event on Saturday, and I had a still like a half ounce of the Funkle that I kept in the Grove bags, and there was a lot
Yeah.
of impressed people. A lot of people were really impressed with the fucking funkiest uncle ever, the Funkle. I could not remember the cross. I was very bummed.
Chem D crossed to Uncle Lump's Packy headband.
Thank you. All right. I knew it was Uncle Luke Packy headband, but I didn't want to, I just was, and I was really stoned, but somebody had a microscope, and attached to his phone, and we were looking at the fungal bud structure, and we were looking at the trichomes, and there was not a lot of amber yet, because it's not that old, but he got to one part of the bud, and he was like, "This is fucking pretty," and then he showed Mrs. Weedman and the crowd that we were hanging out with, and they were like, "Holy fuck!" Like
Nice.
it looked very pretty. So you know what Mr. Weedman went and did yesterday? I bought one of those fucking little microscope stands that fucking Wolfman had. I went back and looked at the show. So what I'm going to do is when I do my events, when I do these events, when I have people throw me nugs, like when I get weed from you, or I go to these events and I roll joints for people. Mrs. Weedman and I, we set up our table and people come to our table and I roll joints and I usually have like 4 to 6 strains on me and I let them smell and see what strain they want. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to have that fucking little 7-inch camera with a microscope with a bud on there, and then people can play with it and fucking really get a full experience and see. Because most people don't know what it looks like unless you have a jeweler's group and you're a home grower. You're a hash grower and you have that kind of system.
Yeah, you've actually been on the plant taking pictures yourself, of everything.
Yeah, so we're just going to have like a nug there and let people play with it and let them play with the fucking, show them how to use it. Let them pick a nug they want to smoke out of and let them look at the trichomes and really get experience of the weed. So that's my next additive to the table that we're doing early. And I thought I had to go back to that hash episode to see what kind Stony used too. I mean, Wolfman used. So I was like all excited. So I'm super stoked. But like I said, the Funkle looked great under the microscope, and that gave me the idea to do this. Yeah, think it's gonna be fun when I get all your fellas weeds, or I get to grow some of your genetics, and I bring my own weed with me, and they could see the bud structure, and I can say, oh, this was Stony, check him out. You could fucking get his genetics here. So that's the kind of stuff I want to do. When people know, when they see this weed different from dispensary weed, nothing wrong with dispensary weed. If that's your only way of getting weed, that's your only way of getting weed. But when you get a home grow, or you get a caregiver grow or something like that, you're going to go to a different level. You know, I mean, you're just going to get flavor, smell, you know, and, you know, like Privada Automatica over here fucking killing it with his shit lately. So, and, no worries, man. So,
and autos make it so much fucking easier too. I don't know if we're ever gonna squeeze that in the rest of the episode, but for home growers,
reliable autos, dude. Reliable autos that are stable.
Yeah, that's true. That's auto. Yeah, for home growers, that's the only reason I even started crossing any autoflower anything was homies who were like, "Oh, dude, I would," and they see prices on a light and a tent and all this, and they say, "Well, this auto you can literally throw in like." You're not going to be like super, it's not going to be some big banging crazy awesome plant, but you can throw an autoflower in a fucking south facing window.
And the grand majority of people don't have a fucking elephant's tolerance like most of us. So don't grow it.
Yeah.
And it's older heads that like it, you know, they like the land race type shit. They like it to be more mellow. They don't want it to be jet fuel. You know,
I like low, man. During
it depends on the day. Yeah, it depends what you're doing, where you're at. You know, like sometimes you don't want to be in line at the bank after you just smoke some fucking jet fuel OG, and you're just like heart racing.
100%. Or smoke some Earl's train wreck where I can't fucking see so good for like 2 days.
Right there.
Oh, crusher. So we were talking. Let me before we move on. I had this thought and about just looking at everyone's looking for that high THC percentage now. That I gotta smoke a 32, 35%, yada yada yada. And they're like, I can only get stoned by smoking this high percentage weed. Now, there's also a lot of research going on about THC percentage from the 60s, 50s to 80s. You know, we're only smoking 2%, 4%, 6% THC. But I tell you what, okay, I grew up in the 70s, 80s. You know, I was born in the 70s. My dad was a weed head. And I watched him and 5 of his buddies pass around fucking just some green, you know? Oh, yeah. And I watched these 4 motherfuckers watch football and stoned out of their fucking, my dad wound up getting a bunch of munchies and sitting there fucking eating. They were baked.
Oh, yeah.
So I had this thinking going, oh, yeah, granted, we all smoke every day. 2-4% won't hit the same, but I still get really, really solid high at like a 15-16%, fully flavored, fully fresh.
Absolutely.
And I feel fucking great.
I think one of my buddies had a tested lemon skunk that was 10 or 12. I think it was like 10%. It was low. But I remember taking it we were at the beach and like smoking it and just walking around on the pier, and it was like the brightest, sunniest, nicest day. I was like, this is 10%. But I mean, I'm sure the terps and everything, that was before terps were tested for and everything, but that whole entourage effect and what makes it all up adds to what just the THC is going to bring. Because that was the whole downfall of distillate carts. Everybody thought distillate carts were cool until they smoked them. They're like, yeah, just straight THC sucks. We're all just like having panic attacks. Yeah. We don't feel
and smoking true distillate, like when it was 100, like 80, I should say like 98. I've smoked 98% pure distillate, and like fucking like 2016, 2017. Someone gave me a pen. I said, okay, I'll smoke your cart. I'm not a huge fan of them. You know, he goes, no, you got to try this. I'm like, why? He goes, dude, this is 99% pure. We have a company. I'm like, all right, I'll try it. Dude, I fucking felt like I fucking stuck fucking something in my arm, and it made me do fucking laps like fucking. I was like, ah! You know, I was fucking going crazy. I was like, fuck this, man. Holy shit. I needed a fucking couple shots of tequila or something to get me to come down. Dude, I was lit, man. I was fucking like, I could have went and worked out and fucking pressed 350 pounds a couple 2-3 times, you know? I was like, no. My body wasn't meant for that.
It's a nightmare story that THCV isolated, because that's like an energy appetite suppressant. And they
Yep.
sell that in edible and vape cartridges. People are like,
I
exactly what you said. It
I
feels
have an
wired.
edible. I have an edible, a THC edible, a THCV.
TCD? Yeah.
It's 4 milligrams of THCV, 3 milligrams of CBD, 1 milligram of THC, and it's fucking perfect.
Yeah, it's balanced. That's what I was saying. The CBD is, a lot of people say the CBD is what takes the edge off the
Yes.
THC, because pure THC
Yeah.
is like, it's very potent psychedelically.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
Pure THC. You'll know when you had too much because it's no turning back.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like I said, and Stony, Earl and I on the last episode, we were talking about like, and I just want to get your opinion on this. And I feel right now the plants, and I'm not talking about home grow. I'm talking about big cultivation and shit like that. The plants that I'm seeing, they look tired. Like the genetics in these clones, because they're mostly using clones off these mothers, they're just using, it's just over, just killing, not giving these plants a break, not giving like a rest, like a season of a rest before you use it again. I just, I know there's the viroid and all that shit going on, but I'm just talking about.
Well, artificial light intensity too is pretty bad for them. It depends what they're exposed to, but artificial light intensity can cause a lot of issues, like herming and stuff. People think it's like light leaks and things like that, but too intense of a light on a plant can actually cause it to herm if it's not, if it's stressing it out with the light. Especially those people that are running autos at 24 hours and never turn the light off.
Yeah, you gotta give that plant a break.
You have to bring everything else up with it. It can't take in all that light if it's not taking in all the CO2 also and the increased food. And then at that point, when you're hitting it that rapid, when you're a little off, when it's a little like it wants it a little more humid or it wants it a little warmer or something like that, when you're a little off, then you can get like or you got a little not just barely not enough calcium or something. Then you hit these problems where you're like, oh shit, this is like a problem. And so it's hard to really blast light sometimes. I totally agree. I totally agree with you there, especially at 24 hours. I got way better results when I ran 18 with mine, honestly, too.
Yeah.
I've been like 19.5 since I started, and I just left it at that. Just runs with it. I have it during the 5-hour hour.
Do you feel do you feel like I'm a little off on that though? Like the like stuff is just being like, it's just like corn. It's just mass produced so bad to the T.
Yeah, it's definitely, like I said, the hype stuff comes and goes. Like I've seen in the past few years stuff that's just like, it's huge and then nobody cares about it anymore. And it's just based off a couple pictures or, a reputation that's not really even marketing. Like it's all of this is Snoop Dogg or Wiz Khalifa's favorite weed or some shit. You're like, nobody cares about it. Like, who buys that anymore, dude? Anybody trying to get the clone of Wiz Khalifa's favorite weed? Nobody cares.
No.
The clone game is a fucking expensive. When you go after big cuts like that, you talk like it's big money. These people something.
Even on the low end, like Trop Cherry cuts for like 400, $500, shit like that. Yeah. Up to like 3,000. I think there's a guy at Farmhouse Studios. Have you guys ever heard of that guy? He goes by Schwale or Schwale, one of those two. I think Schwale. I don't know. I can't remember how the hell. But he does a lot of breeding for multi-headed trichomes. So his whole theory is like the whole Frenchy cannoli. Frenchy thought, the more that you treat the trichomes as apples, and the more apples you have, you can harvest off your tree to make applesauce, which is your hash. So he bred for this. It's some kind of polyploid, I believe. It's like something with the genetics that it makes it cause 3 to 4 headed glands. It looks like a 4-leaf clover almost. But you see the separation, so it's multi-headed glands because you're always after the head when you're washing for hash. You're taking the gland head. So ultimately, that's his theory: is more apples makes more applesauce. And these things dump hash, man. They make a lot, which I have some I'm planning on working with in my autos. Kind of make like a turbo photo. I've seen one other dude do it with his Jomo, which is the GMO, across to his Sugar Shack, which I believe is like Purple Punch. I don't know. I forgot what it is. Purple Punch is something, or Purple Punch might be in the lineage, but it's a very frosty plant that drops a lot of hash. I think it's like a 6.5% return on it.
Do people shit on Purple Punch a lot? Purple Punch, anything across the Purple Punch is frosty as Like anything I've seen across Purple Punch, and even Purple Punch like 2.0 or whatever that was, just got
Yeah,
to run that, and it was all of it. And the original Purple Punch, I don't know if I ran like the famous clone or anything. I just got it from a dude I worked with, but it wasn't very flavorful, but it was super frosty. But everything I had it crossed to, which maybe only two or
yeah.
three things that I hunted out personally, whole lineage, frosty, frosty.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I was big in California for a while, and then it just kind of went away. Same with like apple
Ooh.
fritter. I
What's
don't know
first?
where apple fritter went. Ask that anyone.
There's some people growing apple fritter here in Illinois. Some home growers. I've gotten a couple nugs from some people.
I
So
have one from Honey Badger Grows right now, which is the Magic Fritters from Rockbud, the apple fritter auto, crossed to Strawberry Safari from Night Owl. And that
damn,
one's getting pollinated by my Grape Widow. And that one, dude, that one looks sick. The leaves look gorgeous.
nice.
It's pretty frosty already early and showing some signs of pollination. But that Grape Widow, have you guys seen that post?
I lost my fucking Instagram. I don't need to talk about it right now. But Earl,
Hey, dude.
if you got a picture of it, you can send it to me.
Sorry, bro. I mean,
Yeah,
I've been there. So I know. I get mad and shit.
I haven't been on
I
social
almost
media.
gave up, man.
I haven't been on social media in 2 months. It's almost 3 months now, and it's actually been kind
How
of
do you
nice.
feel?
It's
Yeah, I
actually been
bet.
kind of nice. That drug is gone. So it's like my
It's,
habit. I still go on TikTok to learn, and I post shit. I post shit
pronounce
on my,
it down.
but I just post my episodes and everything, and I just
Really?
stay off of it. That's it. And I haven't really been on it. I go on Mrs. Weedman, her 8 Decades one, just to see the Viper channel that I have set up with these guys, and that's it. And I don't do anything anymore. So, and I don't miss it. I actually don't. I don't miss all the bullshit. I miss the people. I miss my friends. The people I've met over the last years of how long I've been fucking doing this. But I don't. It was I felt like an addict. Fucking always trying to post and do shit. It's like fuck a lot.
Oh, yeah. It's a real serotonin hit, dude. If I can't be doing
I posted a lot of content on that fucking thing and a lot of years, and it's just like I realized how many after I like counted the hours I've spent on social media, I was like, all right, I'm good. The fucking gave you since 2006, Zuck, and now you fucking crushed me, good. You're not
now he comes out and says, "Oh, we're gonna be nicer now to everybody."
That's what I say to that.
Biden made me do it. They said Biden made me do it.
We could spend 2 hours on that. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. I know this is Burpin the Bag. So how's the winter been treating you out in the Bay Area?
No, I'm not in the Bay Area. I'm in the Central Valley, man.
Oh, Central Valley. Okay.
Yeah. I'm out in the desert.
Oh, nice.
I wish I lived down the Bay, man. That's a big money area.
Okay. And so, how's it growing in like the desert versus? I think we might have kind of talked about this last time, but how is it growing in the desert versus growing in a tropical?
I think because this is a man-made area, it's same. I mean, I know an old guy that's grown fucking 50, 60 plants in his backyard. I mean, the summers get to 108, 110, and they don't give a fuck, dude. And he orders this shit old school, dude. Fucking mails cats to Amsterdam, and they sell seeds back to him. But he's from like this. Like this dude's old, man. He's like, this is how we always did it. This is how it fucking worked. I'm like, all right, bro. But man, he had one. He had one that was Northern Lights to White Widow. I can't remember where the fuck he got it from. It came from Amsterdam, and it was insane, dude. I wish I could find those seeds. But yeah, it was unbelievable.
That'd be amazing smoke.
Dude, it was insane. Everyone that smoked it was like, this shit is incredible.
I'd like to fucking smoke it. It sounds incredible. Especially two of my fucking, those are OG strains right there, man.
Yeah.
Fucking.
This guy's an old head, man. He had some wild shit. He's like, some Northern Lights, White Widow. I was like, what?
Yeah. What new lines you got? And what do you got coming out in the past year-ish? Now it's 2025. So what's been going on?
Yeah.
What you got coming out?
My last one I did with the sugar cookie, well, not last, this is like 3 runs ago, was the sugar cookies one that I dropped in Multiverse Beans. Those ones got released with the seed bank. And then my other one was the Bobby Banner, which is my Bobby's Widow to Cookie Smasher from Night Owl. I did a reversal with that. That one I've been sending out to homies and selling off kind of personally. But I also recently been doing auctions with it, which has been kind of fun. And again, kind of giving it a chance for everybody to get it, at a fair price. I'm not trying to make fucking $60 a pack off my seeds and shit. Just kind of giving it back to the community. I'm like, just fucking kind of help me out with um the shipping and stuff like that. But other than that, it's actually been pretty good. It started off kind of giving it away, just to get people to interested. But now that people are more interested and people are actually caring, it's actually starting to, fetch money, which is starting to work. But
There used to be a lot of auctions on Instagram, like
no,
seed
there
auctions.
was
That kind of went to the wayside a little bit.
one of my buddies actually floating beans. I don't know if you guys follow him, but if you should, if you don't, this guy runs really good auctions. Yeah, always has fire, and it's always at a really nice, really reasonable price to start off. I actually picked up Point Break from Surfer Seeds from him for like $60, and that's like $100 and something pack of Tropicana cookies across the trophy wife. Have you ever seen that one?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so,
I gotta come back to the Point Break. It's really nice. It's like
Of
one in
course, of
Surfers.
course you do. Of course you do, Earl.
yeah, I saw
It's a
one on
really
Reddit.
nice guy.
I saw one on Reddit that some guy drew out, and it was fucking white like a diamond, dude. It was completely frosted. I'm like, holy shit! I'm glad I grabbed that pack. That looks insane.
Yeah, dude. He's been making that for a
Anyway,
long time.
yeah,
It's really nice.
I know he made it to F2, but I have the F1 pack. I've never bought the F2.
Yeah, I haven't either. I don't. F2, F2 is
I mean, it's
exciting because you
cool.
get that better chance at a grandparent. But
Exactly.
I prefer F1s. I prefer. I think I'm an F1 guy. I want
Yeah,
stability in my expression.
yeah, yeah. I mean, unless you're like, if you have a lot of those F2s and you're hunting something old like Tangy out of it, like, because
Yeah, yeah.
Tangy's one of the top cookies, which actually I'm running the Rock Bud Trop cookies. Have you guys seen that one? It was a freebie. I actually bought the pack of seeds just for the freebie. I didn't even, like want the strain. But I was like, you can't buy the Trop cookies by itself. You have to get it as a freebie. So like, damn, dude, that's a very smart marketing tool.
Very smart. You just took the words out of my mouth. I was like, that dude played it well. Played it really well.
Let me make the one everybody wants a freebie, so they have to get my other stuff to get it. And I'm like,
fucking
that's actually
smart. Smart. Fucking marketing 101 right there.
That was exactly what I thought when I got it too. I was like, yeah, that's marketing because you can't buy it by itself. You have to get one of these packs to get this one, exclusively. And I was like, man.
Did Rock Bud convert that to auto himself, or was that who? Do you know who did that?
It's Rocks.
Nice.
He did. It's Mountain Trop cookies from Oni, which is that the F2, the Mountain Trop? Because I believe the original one was Harry Palms, and I believe Oni made an F2 Trop cookies, and that became Mountain Trop cookies, which is their F2. They released under their name, which is a whole fight between Oni and Harry Palms. Who did what with their fucking it gets crazy at the top levels of who did what with whose strain. I hate that, and you're stepping on my toes and blah blah blah. But he took the Mountain Trop, which I'm sure is the Oni one, and he crossed it to Purple Rockberry. And then he took it to F4, which right now that it's turning purple as fuck. It looks cool, dude. It's frosty and purple, and it's got a very tangy smell to it. It's got the cookie structure, but the smell is very tangy and skunky. But it's very purple. I'm like, it's very pollinated too by the Grape Widow, the reversal I have going.
Nice.
So
Hell
yeah, I got that one. I got that one cooking right now. I'm really excited about that.
Nice.
And that Grape Widow. The Grape Widow I was telling you about, man, the pollen sacs on it are bright pink, which is insane looking. I'll say if you have the picture, definitely. Yeah, I'll say if you see it on my Instagram feed, it's on there.
Page.
Yeah, I'll say it's on my profile, but yeah, that thing is. I did not expect it. I was like, I've seen purple a lot, but I've never seen reddish pink to bright pink. And I was like, that's
fuck.
And and so you're reversing, right? You're feminizing.
Yes.
Those are the sacs popping out in the fem.
Yes.
Wow.
And everyone's like, yeah, that looks like a true male because again, like I believe I shared with you guys before how I use injections for the STS to get like that whole systemic blockage of the ethylene. But
down on the stem, right? You do low on the stem.
Yeah. Like I've been going straight down the main stem, just little like you can't really inject it like you would like in anything else. You can't just inject it right into it. So I kind of been doing what I call like a snake fang, where I kind of just squeeze it a little bit to where it kind of you see it drip and then pop and then just keep doing that, and you'll see it'll absorb right into the plant. Like it's like absorbing, like it's like you're putting it in a paper or something. It's crazy, but you'll see it absorb into the cells, and then like, oh shit, so it's taking it in. And then after that, I'll usually water it, and then overnight it's moving it throughout the plant through the watering system. And then
Yeah.
you like
Well,
they get a very strong response, and it takes a little longer. It's kind of tricky because you have to time reversal a little later. Alabrije is the one that taught me about that.
Oh, he's the man.
Yeah, bro.
Shout out.
But yeah, dude, you gotta fucking. He taught me start your reversals 2 weeks before the mothers because for some reason reversals always drop pollen way later than a true male. It starts off and then it'll kind of start opening pods and they'll be empty. And every time for anybody that's doing it for the first time, this is always like panic and disheartening, and you think you failed and you think you fucked up because it'll always start off with nothing. It'll always pop out with but empty little manners will start popping out. And then you got to wait for a little while, and then you'll start seeing the pollen start dropping on the leaves. It takes a minute, but those first few stacks will almost always be empty. You'll very rarely they'll drop like a male where you'll start popping with. It takes a little while, and then once it starts actually dropping, usually they'll start falling off the plant, and I'll collect them up and I'll throw them on my trim bin, and then I kind of just take a card and I'll just kind of move them around, let them dry on there, and keep moving around. And before you know it, if you keep collecting them and doing that over and over, you'll have a fuck ton of feminized pollen just sitting at the bottom just to collect.
Shit.
Yeah, dude. When they fall off, the pollen doesn't come out. The pollen's still in them. Because like oftentimes I'll pick up a pod that fell off and I'll just like kind of sprinkle it like Salt Bay over the flower, and all the pollen will just fall out of it right onto the flower. So a lot of times I'll literally just scoop them all together and throw them in the bin and kind of just let them dry and kind of pulverize them over that, and like a fuck ton of pollen. And you just keep doing that for like a month. It'll keep dropping pods for like a month. So I mean, if you really want to save your pollen and do something like that, like I plan on doing it now, like because I usually open pollinate, and then once I see everything's pollinated, then I start collecting the pollen because it drops for so long. So that's when I make sure it because open pollination is much easier than having to do it by hand. It's a bitch to try to pollinate a dozen, fucking 20, 30 plants by hand. It gets tedious as fuck. You get shaky, you get nervous, start sweating and shit. It's like doing surgery. And then not only that, I do it over time because it takes like 48 hours for it to even show that it's been pollinated. So you'll keep trying to do different spots in your stone, and you're looking at all these plants, and you'll fucking like, which one did I do? I don't even remember. So I usually wait a couple days and I'll do it again because all the sites that show they're pollinated, now I know what to hit because now they're already showing they're pollinated. So now the ones that aren't pollinated down there are my target. So that, and then little by little, whittle it down pretty much, because it's too hard to try to do it all in one shot. You're never going to just pollinate the whole plant in one shot unless you just fucking throw a cloud of pollen at it. And I've picked up the fucking reversal, like shaking it like I'm shaking sage around, like trying to get the demons out, like shaking it off the plant, like fucking get pollen on them.
Oh yeah,
you're like the priest,
baby.
You're like the priest from The Exorcist. The power of Christ compels you. The power of Christ compels you.
We must make Cheeze.
How often do you like to? So the big difference between because there's I don't know if it's ongoing or what you call it, the STS colloidal silver argument, but STS seems to be so much superior because you only have to apply it usually a few times, right? Like do you inject it every time you apply it?
I do, but the colloidal silver, from what I've seen, you have to do it like 3 or 4 times a day, which sounds nuts. Like, who has time to fucking do 4 applications a day? Like, I gotta go home and do my colloidal silver spray. Like, just constantly doing this.
Yeah, do it a lot, for sure.
Yeah, you only gotta do it every 4 or 5 days. So one time every 4 or 5 days. Very easy.
One time every 4 or 5 days. Then you do it like 3 times. You do it 3 times?
Probably closer to 5. 5. I'd say about like, it's probably, yeah, 3, I'd say around 21, 22 days of treatment. Like, once you see the pollen sacs, they tell you once they open, stop spraying it. But like, you'll see the pollen sacs developing all over. And then once you do your last application, you kind of just let it ride after that. But yeah, I always pull it out of the tent, let it, spray it down and inject it, and then let it dry before I put it back. Because you definitely don't want to touch anything else. Because if you get that STS on anything else, you risk it, starting to reverse or having the issues. So always have it dried out before you let it.
Do you try to keep it off the leaves? Do you try to spray
No,
like
I
what
just put it
the
all
flower
over.
sites more directly?
No, I
All over.
spray it all over. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
Okay.
dripping off of it at some point. Like I'll put a towel under it and I'm just fucking soaking the thing with STS. But I use already like measured out concentrate, so I know it's not going to nuke it. I've tried a different one actually with this Grape Widow. I was like, let me try this different one because it had this whole like Everlock technology and all these fucking buzzwords and shit. All that. It's like it's superior. It has this better sticking adhesive, to the leaves and shit. And I sprayed it and it torched the fuck out of that plant, dude. And I was like, oh no, I ruined my plant. And then I kind of let it
Yeah.
ride and I switched back to my old shit. And then once I switched back to the old one, it started healing itself and it grew up like unbelievably. And I'm like, wow, this is a fucking survivor, dude. This thing took a beating early and it fucking grew out gorgeous. Like fucking, so definitely something that I wanted to pass on because it clearly handled a dumb mistake I made, which from somebody that should know better, I thought like, well, let me try a different STS because the one that worked twice isn't good enough. Try
Yeah.
something. So obviously now I'm like,
Dude,
yeah, I'm sticking with this brand and I'm not fucking around anymore because this shit's perfect. My plants look gorgeous every time. It doesn't affect them. It doesn't nuke them. It doesn't fuck up their pH.
yeah. So I made my own like a while ago, but I haven't actually used it yet. I haven't been able. I made it probably like
Really?
so. I have like the two bottles that you have to mix together to make your final
Yeah, yeah.
solution. And I just bought the raw lab grade chemicals online, like nothing special. I think I watched a few YouTube videos or read a few recipes
How
and
anybody learned
mixed.
this?
Dude, so a few people have used it and they all said it works fine. Um, and it was so long ago I can't even remember the exact two things in the bottle, but that's all it was. It was one. I think it was one thing in one bottle and one thing in another bottle, and that's it.
Yeah.
It was, but I did have to, on one of them, it did have caution, wear a respiratory mask while
Wow.
mixing this, like a real fine powder.
Yeah, so this one didn't, but this one was already like a liquid. You just put a little bit in the bottle and then it tells you dilute it with distilled water and then add a couple drops of soap and that's pretty much it. And then from there,
Okay.
you got your recipe and it's ready to go. And the concentrate actually lasted like over 6 months in the fridge, dude, because I used it. It's a 16-ounce refill, and for what I found doing the injection and spray, I only need to do about an 8-ounce solution, which is like a 16-ounce bottle. So I only use half the bottle to do one reversal. So that one bottle I can do two reversals out of, which makes it definitely more
That's,
cost effective because it's like 30 or 40 bucks for a bottle. That's like
yeah.
not much
That's,
to reverse a plant.
yeah, $20 a reverse.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
And yeah, and you know it's going to be fine. It's going to work perfectly. It's done. It's got consistent results. I've used it fucking for a couple of years now.
What uh what was the strain that you said had all the pink stacks coming out?
That
The
was a
girl
Grape
that you
Widow.
pro
That's Grape Widow. That's the Grape Crinkle
yeah.
F5 to Bobby's Widow F3. And that Bobby's Widow is like an original Mandalorian genetics pack, which that's a Dynafem White Widow across the White Russian Deep Chunk, which White Russian is the AK-47 White Widow. And then Deep Chunk is
Jeez.
like the old 70s. Yeah, dude, it's a heavy. White Russian is a badass. I remember that was a.
So first time I
But
smoked
yeah,
AK-47 was 2002. Man, that fucking shit whack.
yeah.
I never smoked no shit like that before. That's for certain. I was fucking high.
Dude, speaking of, I actually picked up some of the Brothers Mendel's release they did on the New Year with the Multiverse Beans. He released a pre 2003 AK-47. You guys see that one?
Oof. No.
Yeah, I think they might still be available. We have them up there.
I want to smoke it though.
I definitely plan to make another generation of it, so I'll
Nice.
definitely post it on that. But yeah, apparently he had it from I think it was the 2002. He said he bought a pack of Serious Seeds and he held on to it, and then he recently pushed it to F2. So this is an F2 generation of it. So I'm gonna hunt it and make an F3 out of it for sure. But and I definitely went out processed some stuff I picked up. Actually, reverse genetics. I picked up a pack out of Canada, actually two of them of a Trop Cherry S1 they did, which looks insane. It's like bright fucking pink looking. It looks nuts.
Jeez.
Yeah, that sounds delicious. What you have any other girls that you reversed or that you're going to?
What was that?
You have any other ladies that you reversed recently?
Other than the Bobby's Widow or the Bobby Banner, which was Bobby's Widow to Cookie Smasher, that was the other one I did recently that I had a bunch of all other ones with.
Yeah.
But this
Yeah.
the Grape Widow one actually has a lot of trichomes on it. I'm gonna make a post about it later, but the trichomes and stuff on it, that's probably my first reversal that's actually got like frost on it. And that Grape Widow, every pheno that I've seen grown out is just like almost white. It looks nuts. That Grape Crinkle brings a lot of stuff. Every time you cross it to something, it's just some reason it makes it super frosty.
Sweet.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. So what do you think? What are some crosses we should be looking out for with those?
Definitely
Are those coming
that
out soon?
probably by February, late February, I'd say these next
Yeah.
ones are coming out. But that Trop Cookies to that Grape Widow, that pink Grape Widow across that purple Trop Cookies is going to be a showstopper for sure. And that's going to make
Sweet.
some insane fucking progeny. And that Apple Fritter Strawberry Safari looks badass too. Another one a buddy of mine sent from, I think he's out in Poland. He sent me a blueberry slushy to my Bobby's Kennedy, which was Bobby Kennedy was Bobby's widow. No, Queen's Banner to Bobby's widow. And
Jeez.
he selected a male and he bred a whole bunch of stuff, and then he sent me a bunch of them. And one of them was the blueberry slushy F5 to the Bobby Kennedy, which I was like, damn, that's a badass cross. I'm definitely growing one of those out. So I have a
Sweet.
female in there,
Yeah.
heavily pollinated, dude. She's gorgeous, like very thin leaf, very frosty. You can see the Queen's Banner in the leaf structure and everything, but in the frost and everything else, so you can see the Queen's Banner and the blueberry slushy. And she's also turning purple, so you definitely see the blueberry slushy influence. I can't wait for it to get a little farther along. It's going to be very impressive. Like right now I can see it, but I'm like, 2 more weeks, 3 more weeks, I think it's going to be fucking badass looking.
Nice. I miss seeing pictures from all you guys.
Yeah.
The new packaging, Earl was telling me, looks dope as hell. Did you design it, and did you have somebody create it for you?
For the gold ones or which ones?
Which ones, Earl?
Yeah, the gold one is what I was like.
I just did those
Straight
myself.
gold.
Nice.
Yeah, but the clear labels are
Earl, which one were
I think they just had the normal labels on them, or maybe drawn on even. But I just like the gold. It reminded me of like dope. Just as a cool like
like
something
gold
like that.
bar gold. It's really shiny gold. Yeah, but some of them had clear labels, and I've done some with white labels recently too. But yeah, I like the clear labels because it has like the gold. It just shows gold and black. You just see the words on the gold background.
What are those packs? What are those packs running for?
Right now, I think on Multiverse are like between $30 and $40.
Nice.
Nice, hell yeah.
It depends on the
What do you
cultivar.
put in one? How many seeds do you put in one?
Usually 5 fems. If I do a fem pack, it's usually 5. Yeah.
Nice. Hell yeah.
5 ladies. Nice.
Yeah, they're usually like the Blue Zeroso, sugar cookie stuff like that, where I did like a rare cross would be like 40. My regular stuff's closer to like 30.
Sweet. What
I hear some of that blues so I was fire.
If Earl had if Earl had like one pack to buy and his wife, his wonderful wife said, "This is the last pack you can buy ever, and you got to buy it from Stony," what's the one he should get?
Probably one of those home wrecker packs. Or that or the new Euphoria one I did. I did one called Euphoria F1 where I crossed home wrecker to Bobby Banner to the reversal. But that was my home wrecker is my heartbreaker to sugar cookies. And that one's the serious frost factory. I think it's insane.
Nice. Where are you selling some of those old rare seed packs you got?
Right now, I've been personally just kind of auctioning them on my profile on Instagram, my Reserva Privada Automatica.
Thank you.
Profile.
Nice. Yeah, dude, that's all. You had some nice ones.
It's actually been a lot of engagement too. It's been pretty cool, especially like stuff I don't have enough to do a proper drop or stuff that's older. Even like regs that banks don't want to carry. Banks never want to carry your regs, and people always like caution against releasing your regs and stuff like that. Like I don't care, man. I just if you're interested in it, you can have it. I don't fucking.
Yeah.
It's kind of like one of the things I loved about like the surfer packs was like when you get it, like this is yours now. You bought it. You can do whatever, breed it, give it away, sell it. Fucking, we don't care. this is yours, dude. Fucking do whatever you want with it. You earned it. You paid for it. I don't like the whole
If you
gotta earn my work and shit. Like that's the arrogant. Like you have to have my blessing to get it. Like I like calculators work, but I always hated the whole like you gotta be you gotta gain my approval to get my Mac cut. I'm like, I don't care. I don't care that much. I don't care. I'm not trying to
Oh,
be
for
anybody's
sure.
buddy to get your cut and shit, dude.
Yeah.
I jump through
I mean,
hoops
I've had
for the
times where people, yeah, well, they made me agree. Like, they give me something, they made me agree before they gave it to me. Hey, don't give this out, or hey, this is
Yeah.
this, or hey, if you could not work. Like, I tested seeds for people,
Oh yeah.
and they say,
I,
hey, we want to, yeah, don't work with this line. I say, okay, that's cool. I'll test it for you. I won't do any breeding with it.
yeah, I did a
But
cross
if
on
you're
sugar
trying to
cookies
pay for
to
something,
yeah, actually, exactly. Like I did a cross sugar cookies to Daz's purple strawberry popsicle, his purple haze peanut. And he reached out to me. He's like, "Hey, man, if you could do me a favor, that's like one of my new testers. Not fucking make projects out of it." I'm like, yeah, no worries, dude. I'm not trying to step on anybody's toes. Like, he's always been super cool to me. So obviously, I'm not trying to be like, fucking, nah, man, I'm gonna fucking release this shit. He's always,
yeah,
it was like,
If it's not a tester though, and you release a pack, do you think that person should be able to do what they want with it? I know our friend Turf Fiend said he don't give a fuck.
yeah,
buy it. That shit's yours, bro. That's how I
yeah,
look at it.
yeah. If you put it out
It's
to
not
the general
yours.
public,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
without any
It's
any
cool.
pre, any conditions on it, yeah, you can't really tell anybody what to do with it after the fact.
Yeah.
Right. I can
If you
understand it.
want to be dope, you can tell that breeder, because I've done this multiple times when I use somebody else's work. I tell that breeder and I ask them if they want some of them. And I'll send them like a 50 pack. And
Oh
so
yeah,
if you want to be dope, you just give that shit to the breeder. And any breeder who's got a problem with that, like that's I think very great, like very nice. Like that's not something if you especially when you
yeah,
pay for the seeds. But you know, everybody's a little different.
Yeah, I agree with the testing part because that person's just trying to get that strain to see if it runs well with other people besides his own.
yeah,
It might have worked well. It might have worked well for him, that breeder or that grower, but it might not
Yeah.
work well for other people. So I understand the whole testing thing. Let him release that first if it works
yeah,
well, and then once he puts it out there, then do whatever the fuck you want with
Yeah.
it.
yeah. I say
One
I
thing I
usually
liked about
plan
your
on doing
testers, don't
it.
release the
No,
name.
yeah,
A1, B1, C1, whatever.
that's
I've got
true.
tons of testers like that too, where it's just like I didn't know the name of it. And then once I gave them the pictures and told I gave them the experiences and all that stuff to
Yeah,
actually test the strain, they said, hey, this is what that was. And then usually they said, do you want to test this next strain yet? Or do you want to test this next line yet? Or whatever it is. Um, yeah, dude, everybody, if you're a good tester, breeders out there fucking want you.
yeah.
Put some nice
Oh yeah,
pictures
there's
out
some
there, get a hold of them, they want you. But
there's
we
other
had
kind of cookies.
we had not good luck, but karma. Last episode you were on, I think we talked about it a little bit. We had gotten just like call it scammed by the same person,
Oh
and
yeah,
recently that person got a little karma,
yeah. I saw
and
that one. This time for real, not
yeah,
a bullshit lie. There's
not a
lying on
lie,
your things, yeah.
not 14 lies wrapped up, but I love the message you sent. Or you said, I was like, oh my gosh, it was just like I don't know that kind of shit, bro. There's just no room for it, and so it's like.
Yeah,
I, there's no fucking room for it. So I'm glad you got through all that shit. I know that he fucking, took a lot of
yeah.
people for a ride. But, I just want to bring it up. You're scamming people out there. Stop it, because some people do get caught.
Yeah, especially if
Just
you're gonna
stop
do it.
it.
Especially if you think you're gonna do it in a small community where everybody talks to each other.
Yeah. Expect them not to talk to you.
Yeah, we all talk
You're
and
gonna do it.
shit.
Be
We
smart
all.
about it.
But yeah, that was
So what's coming new, bro? Anything you got? Anybody you're thinking in your head? Like, I think I'm gonna reverse this thing. I think I'm gonna take this to an F3, F4. What's coming down the pipe?
probably that. Okay, that sugar cookies is probably gonna go to F3. I know. Actually, Alabrije sent me a whole bunch of F2 back of it, and I was like, damn, I want to work with the ones he selected too, especially. That'd be really cool to work with the ones that
Yeah.
Alabrije selected. But yeah, I
Albury
want
has
to take
cool
some.
little packages.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm luckily enough, I've got about two or three that are one of one, my personal mixes. That I sort
Yeah,
through and go
yeah.
through. I know a lot of people would probably kill to have. So I think it's a cool little
There's
gift I've got.
there's a lot of great breeders out there, but I don't think anybody makes it as personal, like consistently as him.
Oh
You know what
yeah,
I mean? Like there's so much fun little things like they do the clay little plants tags and like mugs and little pot and everything's so unique and different and like I really like what they do over there.
Me too.
yeah, they do a lot of good stuff. And their genetics are
Yeah,
amazing.
so are you got collabs going with him then? Is that what you said? He was he sent you some different stuff you're looking to work
Um,
with?
yeah, that I'm going to work, but yeah, some of the stuff, especially the one that he used my Grape Widow, the one that I'm currently reversing, he used that one to like Bobby Banner, or actually to Bobby, not Bobby, to Bruce Banner. So he has that Grape Widow to Bruce Banner from Dark Owl, and then he has one to my True Mac, or my Max Widow, which is True Mac to Bobby's Widow. Which I don't know if you've ever seen that one. That one's got some pretty impressive phenos, like very bright purple, all the way out to the leaves, and sure, the leaves are super bright purple, super frosty. Carries on that Bobby's Widow flower structure too, where it's like a dense, like rock almost. It looks like a powdered rock. It looks insane.
Jeez.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's
So
Did
exciting
yeah,
to
that
we
hear.
Grape Widow that's coming up, I'm gonna have probably about 10 crosses of it that are gonna be coming out that I selected personally. Those autos I wanted to carry on to that, especially that pink pheno. That pink pheno, I want to
Yeah.
see what's going to be. That's also making some S1s, which I kind of started the reversal a little late, kind of hoping that they would, have some pistols actually develop to make some S1s, and they actually worked out. I don't know how many I'm going to get, but I'm definitely excited to sort.
Yeah. And continuing great lineage in autoflowers is such a different beast than photo period. So just the fact that I love the autoflower community and there's so many people working together to do stuff like that. And it's hard, dude. Listen, I'm always open about it. I grow 90% photo period, but it's so much harder to really successfully take autoflowers, like to make them better, because you have to grow them out like twice. At least for
Yeah,
me, I had to. I'd have to grow them out once. I'd have to look for characteristics, and then I'd have to say, okay, based off of these early characteristics, I think it's going to finish like this. And then I have to grow it out. Then you have to take it to the end, see how it finishes. Oh, this is the terpier one. This is the bigger one. Whatever the fuck. And then you have to go through again, find those same things, and hope that one's going to fit. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And like, at least for me, right? And so it's like it's a harder thing. So it's great. I think that like you and Alabrije and Ray and Marty, we've had all you guys on with autoflowers, and it's really
yeah.
nice. I think that community is going like I've explained to a lot of people all the time how great auto compared to what autoflowers were. Autoflowers are so fucking delicious and so good now, and the work's just getting better and better.
Yeah, that one actually, I have another one that's going from that I put in that tent to get pollinated. That's been getting hit is my sugar cookies across the Hammer Time from Viking Gardens.
Oh
You
shit.
guys ever heard of that one?
Mm-mm.
I don't think so.
Hammer Time F5 is Soulfire's Happy Hour cut across to Thor's Hammer F3 that he brought to, he made an auto of that Soulfire cut.
Okay,
So it looks
I love
sick, dude.
that.
This one's turning super purple and is fucking super frosty early. And she's already
Oh
pollinated,
yeah.
so I'm pretty excited. Yeah, when I saw it, 'cause I was like, what the hell's Hammer Time? And I Googled it. And I was like, damn, dude, that was actually a pretty good pairing. Dude, to take my sugar cookies and hit that with it. And it looks pretty nice.
Hell
Oh
yeah.
yeah. There's all the fire coming out then. We'll have
Do
to
we
keep watching. And the dope ass gold packs.
Hell yeah.
do
Yeah, I
we
don't
miss
know if
any?
I'm gonna. I was like, I
Do
don't
we
know if those
miss?
are gonna be at the bank or if I'm gonna start like auctioning the initial packs just to see like just to release a few early. I know that Trop one's gonna people are gonna be all over that shit.
Oh yeah. Yeah, dude.
You hear that,
Yeah.
everybody? So did we miss it? Did we miss anything? No, Stony. Do you got anything else? It's your
Uh,
burp in the bag. Anything you want to finish off with? Anything you want to chat about before we head out?
no, just if you guys want to check out my beans, fucking check out Multiverse Beans. Check out Reserva Privada Automatica on Instagram, and you guys can get a hold of me if you ever need anything.
Any seed banks you're on or anything they can check out too?
Multiverse Beans right now.
Multiverse, okay.
Multiverse Beans and stuff. Yeah.
And then you're doing your not your giveaways, but your Your
Austin's on
auctions.
my Instagram profile. Yeah.
Instagram, okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Everybody go check out our friend Stony over here, man. He's got some good
Yeah,
shit
he's
going,
good.
and
Definitely check
forward.
off. They're like little flash pop-up ones. They're like 24-hour. I don't keep them up very long. I know some people do like weekend ones or something. I may do some depending on when I, if they're more rare or something like that. But the other ones are kind of just pop-ups.
Sweet.
Okay.
Big Earl, man. I'd like to thank Stony for hanging out with us today, man. I appreciate you coming on, as always. Burpin the Bag. Love it. We burping Grove bags now? Is that what we're doing there, Earl? Oh, you don't need to burp Grove bags. That's the key to a Grove bag. Don't need to burp them. Burpless. Burpless in the bag.
Sitting around a bunch of open mason jars.
Yeah. It rolls good. So, but there was one thing we missed, man. There was, autos, and they're fucking coming along good, but we talked about pollination and stuff, but there's a key to all these elements, Earl, that we missed, dude. I fucking it's on the tip of my tongue. Right here. It's just something we're missing, dude. What are we missing?
In all that solution, you want to really reverse that female, just extra comment, guys. It's always extra CalMax, always going to be the answer. Don't forget about it. Go get it.
Everybody, we love you. Don't forget to CalMag. Peace! Check out our cannabis lifestyle brand online at 8decades.com. Our custom smokes and accessories are perfect for your coffee table, bedroom nightstand, or kitchen counter. They're designed for you to show them off. The Canna community is also loving our hemp and cotton blend t-shirts, sweatshirts, scarves, and hats, finished off with our 8 Decades logo. We've got some awesome long-lasting goods that will be your favorite for years to come. 8 Decades, because a 9th decade of cannabis prohibition isn't acceptable.